I used to hide candy in my drawer. Little, colorful secrets that smelled like childhood and tasted like shame. I'd unwrap them in silence at night when everyone else was asleep, just me and the sugar breathing together in the dark. Those candies never judged. They melted on my tongue and promised to keep my loneliness sweet. Over the years, the drawer changed houses, cities, even shapes. But it was always there, waiting for me like a quiet confession. Now, when I open it, there's no candy left, only empty wrappers and the sound of my own breathing. Sometimes I wonder if I was feeding hunger or hiding grief. And sometimes, I'm afraid to find out what's still buried at the bottom of that drawer. My mother used to say I was the strong one, the one who didn't cry when the world fell apart. She called me her little adult, as if responsibility were a medal instead of a sentence. While other kids played, I washed dishes, folded clothes, and told myself I was proud to help. But every thank you from her felt like a reminder. Love had to be earned. That's when I found my secret rebellion, a drawer filled with sweetness I didn't have to deserve. Each candy was a tiny act of freedom, a moment where I could stop pretending to be okay. By the time I was 10, that drawer had become my best friend and my worst habit. If you've ever hidden something small just to feel safe, you'll understand what I mean. And before we go further, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps this story reach someone who might still be hiding their own drawer. Because sometimes, hearing another person's truth is the first step to opening yours. I'm ready to tell you what happened the day mine was finally discovered. The first drawer was shallow and stuck on humid days. You had to tug it twice, like asking permission. It lived in a narrow kitchen painted the color of diluted milk, where the fan rattled like a nervous bird. Inside, beneath a stack of napkins and rubber bands, I carved out a secret the size of my hunger. I was 8 when the world decided I was useful. I reached the tallest shelves with a chair, learned the angle of every squeaky hinge, and memorized where my mother kept the bills. My hands smelled of dish soap and onion, and I told myself that being needed was the same as being loved. Candy started as a celebration. One wrapped star for finishing chores, another when I calmed my little brother's tantrum. But celebrations multiply when no one is counting, and soon I was celebrating surviving another Tuesday, or another evening when Mom forgot to ask if I'd eaten. I learned the art of silence, how to unwrap without a sound, how to chew without moving my cheeks, how to swallow feelings whole. Each candy clicked against my teeth like a tiny lock turning, sealing away the noise of a house that ran on empty. The drawer became a map of my days. Peppermints for mornings when the bus came late and I got blamed. Caramels for nights when the TV was too loud and the adults were louder. Chocolate for the quiet hours after everyone slept, when the walls exhaled and I could finally hear my own heart. Once, my mother caught me with a smear of chocolate near my lip. "You'll spoil dinner," she said, and then added softer, "Be good." I nodded like a soldier receiving orders and stored the softness in the drawer with the rest of the things we didn't talk about. At school, I was the helper, line leader, pencil sharpener, the girl who remembered extra paper and bandages. Teachers loved my reliability. Kids loved my backpack snacks. No one asked why I always had more. No one asked why I never ate them at lunch. I started counting wrappers like prayers. 3 meant I'd made it through homework without crying. 5 meant the shouting downstairs had finally stopped. 10 meant I'd been brave enough to tell myself I wasn't lonely, even when the ceiling fan traced circles around a lie. When the drawer jammed, I panicked, shoving it closed with the heel of my hand, breath short, fingers sticky. I wasn't afraid of getting caught with candy. I was afraid someone would open it and see the shape of me in all that sugar. The good daughter, the quiet child, the tired little adult who didn't know how to ask for help. On Sundays, we went to the market. I volunteered to carry the heaviest bag, the one that hid the small box of sweets under potatoes and soap. My mother smiled at my strength. I learned to smile back with my teeth together so the truth wouldn't fall out. That summer, a storm knocked the power out. We lit candles and shadows made mountains on the walls. I opened the drawer slowly and shared one candy with my brother, telling him it was a glow-in-the-dark star for being brave. I gave him the star and swallowed the dark. By the time I turned 10, I could find candy in any kitchen, in any house we moved to. But the drawer was never really about the candy. It was a place where I could say, without words, "I'm here. I need. Please see me. Only don't." My father worked night shifts at the factory. I'd watch him leave with his metal lunchbox, steel-toed boots heavy on the porch. He'd come back smelling like oil and exhaustion, eyes too tired to see me waving from the kitchen window. One afternoon, after scrubbing the bathroom tiles until my knees ached, I sat on the linoleum floor. I was 9 years old and already knew the weight of invisibility. I opened the drawer. 3 peppermint candies stared back at me like little life preservers. I unwrapped all of them at once, desperate, and let the sugar burn my tongue. It hurt, but I kept chewing. My baby brother cried in the next room. Mom sang to him softly, that voice she never used with me. I closed my eyes and let the peppermint sting until it numbed everything else. That night, I learned something. If your mouth is full, you can't cry. And if you don't cry, no one has to worry about you. Growing up, I learned that help was the closest thing to love I could afford. My mother's tired smile after I cleaned the kitchen felt like sunlight, brief and conditional. If I kept her world running, maybe she wouldn't notice how mine was falling apart. The pattern followed me to school. I carried other people's books, finished group projects alone, and laughed at jokes that hurt. Being useful became my language. Every favor I gave whispered, "Please don't leave." At 12, I started making lists: homework, chores, goals. I'd cross items off with a trembling satisfaction, but the emptiness that followed felt heavier than the pencil in my hand. So, I'd reach for the drawer again. The candy didn't ask for anything in return. People praised me for being so mature for your age. They didn't see how I flinched at kindness, how I panicked if someone offered help back. I didn't know what to do with softness that wasn't earned. At church, I prayed not for miracles, but for permission to rest. I promised God I'd be good, if only he'd let me stop pretending to be fine. When no answer came, I unwrapped another candy. It was easier to worship sugar. It dissolved faster than guilt. My drawer became a small world of order in a house without it. I arranged sweets by color, type, size, control disguised as play. Each perfect row gave me the illusion that I could fix things, that I could stop time, that I could make someone stay. Sometimes I'd catch my reflection on the metal handle, tired eyes in a child's face. I'd whisper to it like a secret twin, "We're okay, right?" And the silence would nod back. Teachers loved to say I had potential. But potential is just a polite way to say you're not enough yet. So I worked harder, studied later, smiled wider. And every night, the drawer opened like applause in an empty theater. One day, a classmate found a candy wrapper in my bag and laughed. "You always have snacks," she said. I laughed too, pretending it was funny. But when I got home, I threw all the wrappers away. For a moment, the empty drawer looked free. Then it looked lonely. I filled it again the next day. This time, I hid the wrappers even deeper, because it wasn't just candy I was hiding anymore. It was the proof that being the strong one was starting to hurt. There was a girl in my class named Jessica. She was everything I wasn't: loud, messy, free. One day I saw her crying in the bathroom because she failed a math test. I got an A. Neither of us was happy. I lent her my eraser. She gave me a smile. For 1 second, I felt like I existed outside of being useful. But when I got home, the feeling evaporated. I opened the drawer. I started carrying extra candy in my backpack, just in case. in case the day became unbearable between classes, in case I needed to disappear for a moment without anyone noticing. A teacher once called me a model of self-discipline in front of the whole class. The other kids stared at me with something that wasn't admiration. It was distance. That afternoon, I ate 6 candies in a row. My brother grew up. He stopped crying so much. Mom started looking at him with the same expectations she used to reserve for me. I thought I'd feel relieved. Instead, I just felt emptier. At 13, my body started changing in ways I didn't ask for. Jeans felt tight around my waist. Shirts pulled at my chest. Mom would sigh when she saw me, like my body was a disappointment she had to endure. "Don't run so much," she'd say. "Big girls don't do that." I didn't know if she meant my age or my size. I stopped running. The drawer kept waiting for me. By the time I reached high school, the sweetness had changed. The candy no longer melted into comfort. It scraped against my teeth like confession. I didn't notice the shift at first. Pain rarely arrives loudly. It seeps in through familiar places. My friends started counting calories. They skipped lunch and called it discipline. I pretended to join them, then spent my evenings with the drawer. What began as rebellion now felt like survival. The sugar no longer made me happy. It just made me disappear quietly. My body changed before I understood what was happening. Clothes that once fit now whispered their disapproval. My mother sighed when folding laundry. "You're getting soft," she said once. I laughed, but the sound caught in my throat like syrup. I started hiding candy wrappers not just from her, but from myself. I'd bury them under notebooks, shove them deep into the trash, like tiny graves for every moment I'd failed to stay in control. That's the cruel part about control. It always demands proof. Every candy was both evidence and punishment, comfort and shame. I kept eating not because I was hungry, but because stopping meant facing what the drawer had become. A mirror I couldn't bear to look into. At night, when my room was dark, I'd open the drawer just to hear the quiet crinkle of the wrappers. It sounded like whispers from an old friend I didn't know how to leave. Once, during a school project, someone asked what my happiest childhood memory was. I said, helping my mom bake cookies. It wasn't true, but it was the closest I could get to the truth without bleeding. I tried replacing candy with journaling, exercise, even prayer, but nothing stayed as loyal as sugar. It was always there, patient, unconditional, the kind of love I thought I had to earn everywhere else. People started noticing my silence. "You're so calm," they said. But calm is just the name people give to quiet implosions. My calm was made of sugar and shame, layered like a cake no one should ever taste. One afternoon, I came home to find my little brother sitting by the open drawer. He'd found it. His hands were sticky, his face curious. "Why do you keep so many candies?" he asked. I froze, not because of the question, but because I didn't have an answer that didn't sound like crying. At 14, a classmate invited me to her birthday party. There was cake, soda, laughter. Everyone ate without thinking. I counted every bite, every glance, every second of guilt. At home, I emptied the drawer. My father saw me one night standing in front of the refrigerator. It was 3 a.m. He didn't say anything, just quietly closed the door and walked away. His silence was louder than any scream. I started wearing oversized hoodies, baggy jeans. If I couldn't see my body, maybe others wouldn't either. But the bathroom mirror always told the truth. A friend asked why I never went to the pool anymore. "I don't like chlorine," I lied. The truth was, I couldn't stand the thought of people seeing me in a swimsuit, of them counting my rolls like mistakes. Magazines talked about perfect bodies. Movies showed thin girls being loved. I wondered what they had that I didn't. The drawer never answered, but it never judged either. One day, Mom left a diet book on my desk. She didn't say anything. The book said everything. I hid it under my bed. That night, I ate until my stomach hurt. I discovered that physical pain was easier to understand than emotional pain. At least a full stomach had an explanation. The emptiness in my chest didn't. At 15, I learned that words weigh more than pounds. Chunky, curvy, big-boned, euphemisms that cut like knives wrapped in velvet. My aunt said it at Thanksgiving dinner. "You have such a pretty face if you just lose some weight." The "just" made it sound easy, like I hadn't been trying in secret for years. Boys at school didn't look at me. Or worse, they looked at me to laugh. Once I found a note in my locker that said, "Save the whales." I kept it in the drawer with the candy. I don't know why. I started eating in hidden places. In the school bathroom, in Mom's car, in my room with the door locked. Eating had become an act of shame, not nourishment. A classmate started an extreme diet. We watched her disappear slowly, like a candle melting. Everyone complimented her. "You look amazing," they said. I thought, amazing or invisible? I tried to do the same. Skip meals, count calories, lie to myself. It lasted 3 days. Then the hunger devoured me from the inside and I ran to the drawer. The cycle repeated like a curse. My body became a battlefield. Me against me. Every bite was defeat, every fast was hollow victory. No one had taught me that peace was also an option. Mirrors multiplied. In stores, on streets, in people's eyes. All reflected the same thing, that I took up too much space in a world that preferred me smaller. In PE class, a teacher made me run in front of everyone. My body shook, sweated, hurt. The others ran lightly. I carried every comment, every look, every year of hidden candy. That afternoon, I didn't go to the drawer. I went straight to bed and cried until I fell asleep. Crying has weight too. And sometimes it weighs more than hunger. I turned 16. Mom made a cake. "Just a small slice," she whispered, like it was advice and not a stab. I ate the slice in front of everyone. In my room, I ate 3 more. The drawer no longer fit in the kitchen. I moved it to my desk, then to my closet, then to a box under my bed. The place changed, but the ritual stayed intact. I learned that tricking hunger was impossible. I could lie to Mom, to my friends, to the mirror. But my stomach always knew the truth, and so did my empty heart. One night I Googled, "How to stop emotional eating." The results talked about therapy, self-love, healing. I closed the computer. Those words weren't for me. I just needed more control. But control is cruel. It promises power and delivers prison. Every no I forced myself to say fed the yes that screamed at night. The drawer always won. Secrets age with you. They change clothes, get new jobs, and learn to walk upright. By the time I moved into my first apartment, the drawer came too, tucked inside a beige dresser that smelled of new beginnings and old habits. Adulthood arrived like a storm dressed as freedom. I had a salary, bills, and silence that no one interrupted. I told myself I was finally in control. I could eat what I wanted, sleep when I wanted, cry when I wanted. But mostly I didn't. The drawer sat in the corner of my room, modest and patient. Inside, beneath receipts and pens, the candies had multiplied again. Guilt had too. I convinced myself they were for guests, though no one ever visited. The nights were the hardest. The city outside hummed like an open wound, and my apartment echoed back my thoughts. I'd eat one candy, then another, just to fill the silence between breaths. I called it coping because calling it loneliness felt too raw. I started working overtime, volunteering for projects, answering messages at midnight, anything to stay busy. When your worth depends on being needed, rest feels like betrayal. Sometimes I'd catch myself standing in front of the drawer with no memory of getting there, hand already reaching. That's when I realized addiction doesn't always look desperate. Sometimes it looks polite, organized, functional. I tried to hide the evidence again, from coworkers, from myself. Candy in the office drawer, candy in the glove compartment, candy behind books on the shelf. My secrets had suburbs now. Once during a meeting, someone brought cupcakes for a birthday. I smiled, said no, and congratulated them. Later that night, I ate 3 candies back to back while telling myself I was disciplined. The irony wasn't lost on me. I'd spent my life helping others feel better while quietly decaying from the inside out. Every candy was a conversation I didn't have, a feeling I didn't name, a scream I'd wrapped in foil and swallowed whole. I didn't know it then, but the drawer wasn't done with me yet. It had one more secret to reveal, one I'd buried so deep it would take someone else's hands to find it. I met someone. His name was David. He was kind, patient. He asked me to dinner. I said yes, but ate at home first so I wouldn't look anxious. I arrived full and ordered a salad. He didn't understand why I was so tense. The second date was at his place. He cooked pasta. I counted every bite, every second, every glance. "You okay?" he asked. "Perfect," I lied. In my car, I cried until my throat hurt. David was patient, too patient. That scared me. No one had ever been patient with me. I started sabotaging the relationship with silence, distance, excuses. He kept trying to stay. One night, he stayed over at my apartment. I woke up at 2 a.m. quietly and opened the drawer. The paper crinkled. He woke up. He saw me there, hands full of wrappers and eyes full of shame. "What are you doing?" he asked. Not with judgment, but with genuine curiosity. I told him the truth for the first time. "I don't know." And I cried like I hadn't cried since I was a child. David didn't run. He sat on the kitchen floor beside me and waited. He didn't try to fix me. He just existed with me in the mess. That night I learned that love can also be a silent witness. But others' love doesn't heal what's broken inside. David suggested therapy. I got offended. "I'm not crazy," I said. "I didn't say you were," he responded. We didn't talk for a week. In the end, I tried. Not for him, for me. Or at least for the version of me that still believed there was hope. The waiting room smelled like lavender and lies, old magazines, uncomfortable chairs, a clock that ticked too loud. I thought about running 3 times before they called my name. The therapist's name was Dr. Parker. She had a professional smile and an immaculate notebook. "Tell me about yourself," she said. I started with the surface: work, family, routine. I didn't mention the drawer. "And how do you feel about your body?" she asked. The word body landed in my stomach like a stone. "Fine," I lied. She wrote something down. I counted the seconds until the session ended. I went back 3 times. Each session was a dance of polite lies. I said what I thought she wanted to hear. She tried to dig deeper. Neither of us reached the drawer. In the 4th session, Dr. Parker asked, "Have you ever experienced episodes of binge eating?" The phrase froze me. It sounded clinical, cold, like a diagnosis. "No," I said, and I never went back. I thought I'd won, that I could handle myself alone. That night, I emptied the drawer into a bag and threw it away. "It's over," I told myself. It lasted 2 days. Then I bought more candy than before. David noticed the change. "How's therapy going?" he asked. "Good," I lied. He looked at me with that sadness people have when they know they're losing you but can't do anything about it. I started pulling away. I'd cancel plans, not answer calls. It was easier to be alone with my secret than to pretend to be okay in front of someone who loved me. One night, David showed up unannounced. He knocked on the door. I had my mouth full, hands sticky, heart broken. I opened the door crying. "I can't do this," I told him. "I know," he responded, and he left. I was alone again, the drawer and me, like in the beginning, like always. I thought that would make me feel better, but I only felt emptier. I searched for videos online about emotional eating. They all said the same thing. Learn to love yourself. Seek help. You're not alone. But I felt completely alone. And sugar was the only thing that didn't ask me to change. Months passed. I gained weight. Clothes stopped fitting. I bought bigger sizes and hid the tags, as if not seeing the number made it not exist. A coworker asked if I was okay. "You look tired," she said. What she meant was, "You look bigger." I smiled. "It's the job," I responded. And I kept pretending everything was under control. It happened on a Sunday afternoon, the kind of day that pretends to be gentle until it isn't. My daughter was 6, chasing light across the living room with a plastic tiara crooked on her head. I was folding laundry, half present, half somewhere inside my thoughts. "Mommy," she called, "can I have some paper for drawing?" "Top drawer of my desk," I said without thinking. A few minutes passed, then silence, the kind that isn't empty but waiting. I turned around and she was standing there holding a handful of crumpled candy wrappers like evidence. "Mommy, why are these here?" My throat closed. For a second, I was 8 again, small, guilty, seen. I wanted to laugh, explain, lie. But her eyes were too honest. I knelt down, words trembling in my chest. "They're just old things," I said. "Mommy forgot about them." She frowned. "But they're hidden." And there it was. The truth, spoken in a child's voice, piercing decades of silence. That night, I sat by the drawer long after she'd gone to sleep. The wrappers seemed to multiply in the dim light, shiny ghosts whispering every time I moved. For the first time, I didn't reach for a candy. I just stared, realizing how much space I'd given to what hurt me. I thought about my mother, her tired eyes, her own silences, her rules about being good. I wondered if she had drawers too. Maybe hers were filled with sighs instead of sweets. I cried for both of us, for all the women who mistake endurance for strength, for all the daughters who inherit hunger before they learn to speak. The next morning, I threw everything away. I thought it would feel like freedom. But the drawer looked so empty it frightened me. I didn't know who I was without something to hide. I closed it slowly, promising myself I'd fill it again. Not with candy, but with something that didn't taste like shame. I just didn't know what that was yet. My daughter hugged me that afternoon for no reason. "I love you, Mommy," she said. I didn't know how to respond. I'd gotten so used to love coming with conditions that pure love confused me. I called David. It had been 2 years. He answered on the second ring. "I need help," I said. Silence. Then, soft. "You always knew that. You just had to say it." I went back to therapy, this time with a different therapist. Her name was Dr. Chen. She didn't use clinical words. She spoke like she understood the language of pain without translating it. "Why do you think you eat?" she asked in the first session. "Because I'm sad," I responded. "And why are you sad?" That question broke me, because I never learned anything else. Dr. Saul, Chen didn't give me answers. She gave me mirrors. And in each session, I saw myself a little clearer, a little more broken, a little more alive. Healing didn't look cinematic. It looked like shaking hands at midnight, sweat on my skin, teeth aching for sugar I wouldn't let myself have. Withdrawal isn't just chemical, it's emotional archaeology. Every craving dug up something I'd buried. I replaced candy with herbal tea, then almonds, then silence. None of them worked. The body misses its rituals more than its flavors. My daughter drew pictures of us, smiling stick figures holding hands. In every drawing, there was a little square beside me. "That's your drawer," she said proudly. "It's magic." I didn't correct her. Maybe she was right. Maybe it could be. I started therapy in earnest. I told the truth in slow fragments, like unwrapping something fragile. "I don't know how to rest," I confessed once. Dr. Chen smiled softly. "Then that's where we'll start." There were relapses, nights when I stood in front of the kitchen cabinet, hand hovering, bargaining with myself. Just one. But one is never one when what you're feeding isn't hunger. Instead of punishment, I tried curiosity. What did I really want when I reached for candy? Rest? Affection? Permission? Most nights, the answer was all three. I learned to sit through the cravings, to let the ache exist without numbing it. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done, to meet my loneliness sober. Some mornings, I'd open the drawer, empty and quiet, and place a note inside. "You don't need saving today." Slowly, those notes became my new wrappers, proof that I'd survived another day without hiding. One evening, my daughter slipped a folded drawing into the drawer. 2 hearts, one small and one large, inside a box. "For when you feel sad," she said. I smiled. For the first time, the drawer didn't feel like a tomb. It felt like a heartbeat. I didn't know it yet, but that empty drawer was teaching me what fullness really meant, not of sweetness, but of space. Dr. Chen asked me to write a letter. "To anyone you want," she said. I wrote to 8-year-old me. I apologized for not letting her be a child, for demanding she be strong, for hiding her in a drawer. I read the letter in session. My voice trembled. Dr. Chen didn't say anything, just passed me a tissue. Sometimes the silence of someone who understands is worth more than all the words. I started a journal. I wrote what I used to eat: anxieties, fears, anger. I discovered that words also fill, and that writing hurts less than swallowing. One night I dreamed about the drawer. It was empty, but inside there was a window. I looked out and saw all the versions of me: the child, the teenager, the broken adult, all waiting for permission to leave. I woke up crying. My daughter came into my room. "Nightmare?" she asked. I nodded. She lay down beside me and hugged me. Her small body was stronger than any drawer. I told her my story. Not all of it, but the essentials. I told her that sometimes Mommy felt sad, that sometimes she ate to not feel, that she was learning to be better. She listened with adult seriousness and child tenderness. "Do you still have candy?" she asked. "No," I responded. "Now I have you." I hugged her tight. She smelled like soap and future, of everything I wanted to protect. There were bad days. Days where my body screamed for sugar like an addict in withdrawal. I'd stand in front of the supermarket, cart full of intentions, and breathe deep until it passed. Dr. Chen taught me a technique. When you want to eat, ask yourself, am I hungry or do I have something to say? Most of the time, the answer was the latter. I started talking more. With my daughter, with David, who came back slowly without pressure, with my mother. Each difficult conversation was candy I no longer needed to eat. I learned that the body has memory, that pounds aren't just food, but stories. Every gram I carried was a day I didn't cry, a hug I didn't receive, a word I didn't say. I lost weight. Not from dieting, but from letting go. Letting go of guilt, silences, expectations. My body adjusted when my soul found space, but the number on the scale wasn't important. What mattered was that now I looked in the mirror and saw a person, not a mistake. A coworker noticed the change. "You look different," she said. She didn't say thinner, she said different. And she was right. I was someone else. Or better said, I was myself for the first time. David took me to dinner. This time, I ate without counting, without weighing, without guilt. Food was food, not punishment or comfort, just nourishment and company. I cried over dessert, from happiness. Life tends to test you just when you think you've healed. A year after emptying the drawer, the school called. My daughter had her first anxiety attack. I drove to the nurse's office with my heart in my throat. She was shaking, hands cold, eyes lost. I hugged her, repeating, "It's okay, you're okay," but her body said otherwise. She'd learned to hide fear, just like me. That night, when she fell asleep, I opened the old drawer. Inside, only her drawing remained, the 2 hearts in a box. I traced them with my finger. For the first time, I didn't want sweetness. I wanted answers. What had I taught her? That being strong meant not crying? That love was proven by enduring? That calm was worth more than truth? The drawer didn't answer. It just returned my silence. I understood then that I wasn't healing. I was just managing my pain. My control was another way of hiding. I called Dr. Chen the next day. I cried so hard I lost my voice. "I'm afraid of repeating my story in her," I told her. Her response was a relief. "Then teach her something different, starting with yourself." So I spoke. Not just in therapy, but at home. I told my daughter when I felt tired, when I was sad, when I didn't know what to do. She listened with ancient seriousness, as if she understood the language of the soul. Sometimes I failed. I'd get irritated, apologize clumsily. Other times I wanted to hide again. But little by little I discovered that being honest hurt less than pretending to be fine. One night, while tucking her in, she said, "Mommy, I like when you tell me you're sad. It makes me feel like I can too." That sentence broke me open, and at the same time healed me. For the first time, the drawer wasn't a burden. It was a door, one we opened together. I spoke with the school counselor. I told her about my history, about the drawer, about the fear. "Your daughter is learning something you never had. That asking for help isn't weakness," she said. My daughter started therapy too. I'd take her, but I wouldn't go in. I'd wait outside with a book I never read. I just breathed and trusted. Trusting was the hardest part. One afternoon, she came out of her session smiling. "I told her about your candies," she said. And what did she say? That everyone has drawers, and that it's okay to open them. She hugged me. She smelled like courage. That night, I looked through old photos. I saw myself as a child, serious, tense, useful. I saw my mother beside me, tired, distant, alone. I understood that she had also carried her own weight, and that I didn't want my daughter to carry mine. I called Mom. We hadn't talked deeply in months. "I need to tell you something," I said. She stayed silent. I told her about the drawer, about the candy, about the pain. She cried. "I didn't know," she whispered. "I know," I responded. "Healing brings you in circles." I learned that when I returned to my mother's house for the first time in years. The walls were the same color of diluted milk, the air heavy with old soap and unspoken things. The kitchen drawer, the first drawer, still stuck on humid days. My mother was older now, smaller somehow. She greeted me with a long hug, stiff at first, then trembling. We didn't talk about the past, but it filled the room like perfume, faint yet impossible to ignore. After dinner, I wandered into the kitchen. Out of habit, I tugged the drawer open. Inside were napkins, scissors, and one single candy wrapped in gold foil. I stared at it for a long time. "Old habits," she said from behind me, her voice quiet. "Sometimes I still need something sweet at night." I turned to her, tears burning behind my eyes. "I used to think the drawer ruined me," I whispered. "But maybe it was just trying to keep me alive." She looked down, embarrassed. "I didn't know you were lonely," she said. "You never complained." "I learned that from you," I replied. And for a moment, neither of us pretended to be strong. We sat together in the dim kitchen, two women who had survived by silence, finally learning a new language. I took the candy from the drawer, unwrapped it, and broke it in half. We shared it, not as guilt, not as comfort, but as communion. It tasted different now, softer, honest. My daughter peeked in from the doorway, smiling. "Are you two eating candy?" she teased. My mother laughed, and I laughed too. Generations finally exhaling. And in that moment, I realized the drawer had never been a prison. It had been a bridge, waiting for all of us to cross. That night, my mother pulled out an old box from the closet. "Your things from childhood," she said. Inside were drawings, letters, a photo of me smiling effortlessly. "You were so happy here," she pointed to the photo. "I was 4, I responded. "Then I had to grow up fast." My mother was quiet. Then she spoke softly. "I also grew up fast. My mother taught me that being a woman meant enduring, and I taught you the same. Forgive me." We cried together. Forgiveness smelled old and new at the same time. I told her about Dr. Chen, about the process, about the relapses. She listened with shining eyes. "Do you think I should go too?" she asked. "I think we all should," I responded. My mother never went to therapy. But she started talking to me differently. She'd call more, ask more, allow herself to be more human. Sometimes she'd say, "I'm tired," without apologizing. That was enough. One afternoon, the 3 of us baked cookies, Mom, my daughter, and me. The kitchen smelled like butter and promises that were being repaired. My daughter stole raw dough. Mom scolded her playfully. I just watched, heart full. "I also used to hide things," Mom confessed as we kneaded. "Candy?" my daughter asked. "Tears," she responded. That word fell softly, like truth that no longer scares. At the end of the afternoon, my mother hugged me at the door. "Thank you for teaching me it's okay to not be okay," she whispered. I hugged her tight. She smelled like childhood, like shared pain, like possible future. In the car on the way back, my daughter asked, "Did Grandma also have a drawer?" "Yes," I responded. "And will you have one?" I asked. "No," she said confidently. "I'm going to talk." I smiled. That was the sweetest victory. I decided to tell my story publicly, not out of bravery, but exhaustion. Exhaustion from pretending, from hiding, from carrying alone. I filmed a simple video, sitting in my kitchen with the drawer beside me. I talked about the sugar, the silence, the invisible weight. I didn't expect anyone to watch. Within 3 days, I had 1,000 messages. Women telling about their drawers, some filled with food, others with shopping, work, pills, toxic relationships. The objects changed, but the pain was identical. One woman wrote, "I'm 45, and today I opened my drawer for the first time. Thank you for giving me permission." I cried reading that. I didn't know my pain could give someone else permission. I started uploading more videos about relapses, about therapy, about days when I wanted to give up, Nothing was edited to look perfect. Everything was raw, real, painful. The numbers grew. Thousands, then hundreds of thousands. But what grew most were the stories. Each comment was a drawer opening, a woman breathing for the first time. A follower found me at the grocery store. She approached shyly. "You're the drawer lady," she said. I nodded. I had one too. Not anymore. We hugged like strangers, like sisters from a war no one else saw. I created an online space, a group where women could tell their secrets without being judged. It filled up fast. Too fast. The world was full of drawers. One night, I read a message that said, "Thanks to your story, today I asked for help. I'm starting therapy." That phrase was worth more than any view count. Some comments were harsh. "This is just lack of willpower. If you really wanted to, you could. Stop playing the victim." Each word reminded me why I'd stayed silent so long. But for every cruel comment, there were 10 supportive ones. Women saying, "Me too. You're not alone. Thank you for speaking." Kindness was always stronger than judgment. Dr. Chen asked how I felt about the exposure. "Vulnerable," I responded. "But also free," I thought. "Yes," I said. "Also free." My daughter watched me record. Sometimes she'd help with the camera. "I'm proud of you, Mommy," she said once. That phrase held me up on days when I wanted to delete everything. A woman wrote to me, "My daughter is 8. I told her about your story. Now when she's sad, she tells me, I don't want her to have a drawer." I saved that message. It was proof that the cycle could be broken. I started getting invited to speak. Small talks at first, in community centers, then in schools, universities. Each time I told my story, someone cried, and I understood that their tears were my purpose. A woman approached me after a talk. "I'm 60 years old," she said. "My whole life I've had a drawer. Today I'm going to open it." I hugged her. It's never too late to start breathing. My daughter wrote an essay about me at school. "My mom is brave because she's not afraid to be afraid," she wrote. Her teacher showed it to me with tears in her eyes. I taped it to the fridge where diet lists used to be. One night, my daughter had a nightmare. She came to my room shaking. "I dreamed you had a drawer full of sadness and wouldn't let me help you." I hugged her tight. "Not anymore, sweetheart. Now everything is open." She fell asleep in my arms. I watched over her sleep like no one watched over mine. 5 years after emptying the drawer, my body still carried the marks. Stretch marks, loose skin, that softness people glance at sideways. I used to hide them. Now I showed them. I took photos of myself in underwear, not for social media, but for me, to see myself complete, who I was, who I am, who I'll be. Each mark was a chapter, not a mistake. A woman commented on a video, "But aren't you going to get surgery after all that effort?" I thought about responding with anger. Then I just said, "This body saved me. I'm not going to punish it for doing so." My daughter asked why I had lines on my skin. "Because I grew fast in many ways," I explained. "They're like medals." She ran her finger over a stretch mark. "They're pretty," she said, and she truly believed it. I started exercising, not to lose weight, but to feel. To reconnect with a body that had been an enemy for so long. Each step on the walk was reconciliation. At the gym, an instructor congratulated me. "You're doing great, almost at your ideal weight." I smiled. "I'm already at my real weight. This is my breathing body." She didn't understand. She didn't have to. One night, David traced the marks on my skin with his finger. "They tell a story," he said. "One I like." I cried. Because my whole life I'd believed my body was something to apologize for, not something to celebrate. I posted a photo without filters, without angles, without lies. The full body, real. Some comments were cruel, but thousands were. Thank you for showing me I'm not alone in my skin. A teenage girl wrote to me, I'm starting to have a drawer. Your story helped me talk about it before it grew. That phrase made me cry with relief. One less. One life saved before the shipwreck. I learned that bodies aren't projects to finish. They're homes where we live. And my home had cracks, but it also had open doors. I went to the beach with my daughter. The first time in 10 years, I wore a swimsuit without a cover-up. People looked. I breathed. My daughter held my hand and said, "You're the prettiest mom here." I believed her. That day, lying on the sand, I realized the weight I'd been carrying wasn't measured in pounds. It was measured in years of silence. Doctor, Chen gave me an assignment. Forgive yourself. It sounded easy. It was the hardest thing I ever did. I stood in front of the mirror and tried to say it. I forgive myself. The words stuck. How do you forgive years of destruction? How do you forgive the pain you caused yourself? Dr. Chen explained, it's not about forgetting. It's about releasing the idea that you deserve to suffer. That phrase broke me. I wrote a letter to my 8-year-old self. It wasn't your fault, it began. You were just a child who didn't know how to ask for help. I forgive you for surviving however you could. I wrote another to my 15-year-old self. You weren't ugly. The world was cruel. I forgive you for believing the mirror instead of your heart. I wrote one more to my 25-year-old self. You weren't broken. You were searching. I forgive you for taking so long to ask for help. Better late than never. I burned the letters in a small fire. As the paper burned, I repeated, I forgive myself, I forgive myself, I forgive myself. Like a mantra, like a prayer, like truth that's built by repetition. Forgiveness didn't come all at once. It came in small moments, in not punishing myself for eating dessert, in not hating myself in front of the mirror, in not demanding perfection. One afternoon while cooking, I caught myself humming. I hadn't done that in years. My daughter looked at me strangely. Are you happy, Mommy? I thought. Yes, I said. And it was true. Forgiveness smelled like hot tea in the mornings, like not setting an alarm on Sundays, like saying no without guilt. It smelled like living without anyone's permission. One night, David asked me, do you regret anything? Everything and nothing, I responded. I regret the pain, but not who it made me become. He kissed my forehead. That kiss tasted like absolution. I wrote in my journal, forgiveness isn't a destination, it's a practice. Some days I'm good at it, some days I'm not, but I keep trying. My daughter asked me once, Mommy, what do you love most about yourself now? I didn't have to think. That I'm here, that I stayed, that I didn't give up. Months passed. My videos kept reaching people, not because they were perfect, but because they were real. Women wrote, I cleaned my drawer today. I talked to my daughter. I forgave myself. Each message felt like a light turning on somewhere I'd once hidden. I still have the same dresser, same drawer, but now it's filled with letters, from strangers, from friends, from my daughter. Notes about courage, softness, beginnings. It's strange how healing looks like clutter when it finally arrives. Some nights, I still crave the comfort of the old days, the urge to hide, to soothe, to disappear. But instead of sugar, I reach for paper. I write until my hands stop shaking. My daughter is older now. Sometimes she helps me record the stories for this channel. You should tell them about the drawer again, she says. That's the best one. And maybe she's right, because this story isn't really about candy. It's about everything we bury when we're too tired to be seen. It's about how love can suffocate when it's confused with duty. It's about opening the drawer again and again until what's inside no longer scares you. Before I end this story, if it touched you, please like this video and subscribe. Not because it helps me grow, but because it helps us grow. Each story shared makes silence smaller. When I close that drawer now, I hear no crinkle, no guilt, only peace. The kind that hums quietly between generations, saying, "You can rest now." I used to hide candy in my drawer. Now I hide letters, hope, and the proof that we can change. And if someday my daughter opens it again, I want her to find what I never had: room to breathe. David and I got married. It was a small wedding, intimate. In my vows, I thanked him for not running when he saw my drawer open. He cried. So did I. Love that stays is stronger than love that judges. My mother came to the wedding. She brought me a gift wrapped carefully. Inside was a small wooden drawer, hand-carved. "For you to keep new things," she said. I filled it with photos, love letters, kept promises. One afternoon, a journalist asked for an interview. "How do we title your story?" she asked. "Woman overcomes obesity and food addiction." I shook my head. Title it, "Woman learns she deserves to take up space." She wrote it down, confused. Later, she understood. Because this was never about weight. It was about permission. Permission to exist, to feel, to not be perfect, to be human and broken and still worthy of love. I started giving talks, small ones at first, in community centers, then in schools, universities. Each time I told my story, someone cried, and I understood that their crying was my purpose. A woman approached after a talk. "I'm 60 years old," she said. "All my life I've had a drawer. Today I'm going to open it." I hugged her. It's never too late to start breathing. My daughter wrote a college essay about me. My mother is courageous not because she's fearless, but because she learned to face her fear, she wrote. Her professor sent it to me with a note. This moved me to tears. I framed it. One night, my daughter asked me, "Mom, what were you most afraid of?" I thought for a long time. That my story would repeat in you. And now? Now I know you're going to write your own story. I started writing a book, not of recipes or diets, but of stories. Of all the women who had written to me, their drawers, their freedoms. Each chapter was permission to exist differently. The book was published. It wasn't a bestseller, but it reached the right hands. A woman wrote to me, "Your book literally saved my life." That phrase broke me, because I knew exactly what it meant. My daughter turned 10. I gave her a journal. So you can write everything you feel without hiding. She hugged it like treasure. Do you have one too? Yes, I responded, and I fill it every day. One afternoon, I found my daughter in front of the fridge crying. I ran over, scared. What happened? I'm sad, she said simply, and I don't know why. I hugged her. You don't always have to know. You just have to feel. We sat together. She didn't eat, didn't hide. She just felt, and that was enough. The drawer is still there. It doesn't call my name anymore, but it listens. It has become a quiet witness to everything I've outgrown and everything I've forgiven. Sometimes, late at night, I run my fingers along its edge. Not to open it, but to remember. Healing doesn't erase the past. It teaches your scars to speak softer. There was a time I thought the drawer defined me, that I was built from candy and guilt. But now I see it differently. It wasn't a sign of weakness. It was proof that even in hunger, I chose to survive. Every woman has her version of a drawer a place where she hides what she's not ready to name. Some fill it with food, others with work, silence, or smiles that don't reach the eyes. The contents change, but the ache is the same. If you've listened this far, I want to thank you. Not just for watching, but for staying. With me, with yourself. It takes courage to sit inside a story like this and not turn away. So please, before you go, like this video and subscribe. Because stories like this aren't about numbers, they're about finding echoes in the dark. And maybe, tonight, someone who needs to hear this will find it because of you. I used to hide candy in my drawer, tiny, desperate pieces of comfort. Now, I hide the proof that I'm no longer hiding. The wrapper's gone, the sweetness stayed, and every time I open that drawer, I whisper to the girl I used to be, "You can rest now, we made it." My daughter says that when she grows up, she wants to help other girls not have drawers. I told her that's called breaking cycles. She smiled. Then I'm going to break a lot of them. Every time I tell this story, something in me heals a little more. Not because I forget, but because I transform pain into a bridge. And each person who listens, each woman who cries, each daughter who asks, they're proof that suffering wasn't in vain. I finish with this. If today you opened your drawer, even just a crack, I'm proud of you. I know what it costs. If you still can't, I'm also proud. Surviving is already courage. And if this story touched your heart, share it. Not for me, but for the woman who needs to hear it tonight. Because stories weigh less when we carry them together. My drawer no longer holds secrets. It holds promises. Promises that yes, you can live without hiding. That self-love isn't selfishness, it's survival. That our bodies aren't enemies, they're testimonies. And that every day we choose to open instead of close, we're teaching the world a new language. The language of truth. The language of me too. The language of never again. I used to hide candy in my drawer. Now I keep the proof that I deserve to exist without apologies. And so do you. You also deserve to open. You also deserve to heal. You also deserve the sweetness of living without hiding. This is the end of my story, and the beginning of yours. Open your drawer. The air is waiting for you.